In this world, everyone has cracks on their body. The fewer cracks a person has, the higher their social status. Everyone's dream is to become someone with no cracks at all. On the bus, Luis had barely gotten a seat, but he had to give it up to a man who only had 2 cracks on his body. When out shopping, even if a man with 3 cracks was exhausted, his wife, who had just 2 cracks, wouldn't even glance at him. Carlos, a young man from the city, was always looked down on because he had 3 cracks. One day, he was walking down the street, feeling discouraged, when he picked up a bottle. Looking through it, he saw an amazing mansion. Not a single crack existed around that mansion. Carlos hurried to knock on the door. When it slowly opened, a man with no cracks at all appeared before him. Carlos envied him deeply. The man stepped closer and said he was willing to give Carlos blocks to fill in his cracks. Remembering all the days he'd been looked down on, Carlos didn't hesitate. He placed 1 block on his body, then left. The man smiled in a strange way. At last, Carlos lived a life of wealth, now with only 2 cracks. But he wasn't satisfied. Before long, he went back for another block, leaving him with just 1 crack. This gave him an even higher social status. But it wasn't long before he returned again. This time, he took the last block from the man, and just like that, he became a perfect being, a square-shaped man with no cracks at all. Meanwhile, the other man was left with 3 cracks. When Carlos walked out of the mansion, he looked at the closed door, and a thought hit him. He banged on the door desperately, but it was useless. He tried to pull the blocks off his body, but he couldn't, because those blocks could only be removed if someone else had first attached them. Carlos was filled with regret. He had no idea how long he'd been trapped there. Suddenly, he heard a knock on the door.